Hey everyone, this is Scott from startmedia.com, and I'm going to be giving you another tutorial specifically for Cloudways on how to disable and replace WordPress Cron. So a brief overview of what WordPress Cron is. It's a native way for WordPress to schedule tasks, and the way that WordPress Cron works is the task gets scheduled, and then every time somebody visits your website, the task will get run. This is an obviously bad idea if you have a very large website. Essentially what happens is every time somebody visits the website, you trigger WordPress Cron to run, even if a task isn't in there. And the fundamental issue with that is if you're getting thousands of views a day or more, running WordPress Cron every single visit can become a major drain on your website's performance and your server resources. So I'm going to be showing you how to easily disable WordPress Cron from the WordPress admin panel, and I'll be showing you how to set up a real cron job on Cloudways to replace it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the file manager plugin, which, as I've used before, you only enable this plugin and use it in WordPress when you need it. Don't keep it running, don't keep it installed, uninstall it after you're done with the task. We're going to install this and we're going to click activate. And we only need this to add a single snippet into our wp-config.php file. We're going to go here and we're going to right click and use the code editor. And we're going to add a line above the base configurations of WordPress. You may not have these two definitions right here for WordPress cache and WordPress cache key salt. That's totally fine. You only need to add the following line. And I will be including this in the description below. It's define disable wp_cron equals false. This basically says disable WordPress cron. That way it will not be running every time somebody goes to the website. Now this doesn't stop tasks from being scheduled. It just stops the WordPress cron.php from being run on every single page load. You're going to click now save and close. And then you're going to come over to your Cloudways panel if you're on Cloudways. If you're on a different host, you may have to do this a different way. You'll have to consult with their guide and documentation, but it should be pretty straightforward. You're going to click on the applications and you're going to find the application that you're working on. You're going to click on that application and then you're going to click on where it says cron job management. You're going to click add new cron job. Then you are going to click on this drop down and set an interval. Depending on how complicated your website is and how much traffic you get, you may have to do it every 5 minutes. But if it's a site that's pretty static and you don't modify it or really update it frequently at all, then you could set it to something like every 30 minutes. Personally, for my more active websites, I set it to every 5 minutes, and on certain client sites where they have a lot of subscriptions going out and they're a subscription-based website, I do set it to every minute, but I don't set it to every minute for smaller websites to conserve on resources and because it's just not necessary. The most common tasks typically run once every 5 minutes, and very rarely do plugins add one that goes every minute. So for this website, I'm going to set it to twice an hour because it's staging. But for the average website, if you're unsure, just click every 5 minutes. And then you're going to scroll down to this option here. And you're going to just type in wp-cron.php. And then you're going to click submit. Once this does, it's going to add the cron job on the server. So now WordPress cron is replaced, so that way it isn't running on every single page load, but it is being run automatically on a server cron every 30 minutes. Which is totally acceptable for this website. Functionality should remain, and you shouldn't really run into any issues. As I mentioned, the immediate benefits is you use less server resources and your website will perform better, especially if you have a lot of traffic. If you're unsure of how to integrate this for your own hosts, try contacting their support if they're any good. Most good hosts have some sort of documentation for enabling a server cron, and if your host doesn't let you do this at all, you might want to consider swapping to a better host. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please ask in the comments section below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.